I got a feeling we're killing this episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna call audible.
Shadow Knows, the Shadow Crew podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Shadow Knows Shadow Crew podcast. We got Dr. Brantley, Mr. Storm, myself. We are excited to jump into one of our favorite segments, which is we like to rank shit. So please subscribe to the channel. It only helps us grow and continues to develop more content. And feel free to comment wherever you are tuning in. If you'd like to see us rank anything else, any feedback, we love to get our audience involved. So a bit of a challenge, but also I think a fun and exciting one, gentlemen, as we sit back, knock some drinks, and talk about film. The category is we are going to rank the $1 billion film club from worst to best. So I think most of us have seen most of these films, and I'm going to unveil using the tiermaker.com the categories, which are timeless works of cinema, the S tier, great works of entertaining art, good films, but not quite great, average, forgettable blockbusters, badly constructed movies, absolutely unwatchable pieces of cine garbage, and then last but not least, haven't seen yet. And this will be if only one of the three of us have not seen the film. So without further ado, let's jump right into things. What do you all say?
All right,
think it'll be a challenge for us?
We've probably seen most of these movies, I would say. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good.
Okay. First on the list is Alice in Wonderland, the Johnny Depp live action version. Where do you put it?
I say it's average, kind of forgettable blockbuster.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm in alignment.
You're all mad. Thanks very much.
But I gotta give credit that it made $1 billion, though, man.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny Depp probably at its peak, right? When he made that, Tim Burton, zany characters.
That was when 3D, I think that was only like maybe the third or fourth big 3D movie to come out after Avatar. Yeah. So that's why it was hot and people were paying extra money, premium prices. So
yeah, you remember 3D TVs at home too? You sat next to each other with goggles and
hey man, I still got those stupid glasses.
Oh, it's amazing. We'll have to come over and watch a 3D film on Blu-ray, right? That was another thing too.
Yeah.
All right, next is Skyfall.
Bond. It goes all the way to the top, brother.
Timeless.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's probably one of the best Bond films ever constructed, man.
I think you're right, but I would argue it's great work of entertaining art, because if I think about timeless, we're talking about like this is like
I'll give you argument.
Watchable. This is in the realm of Jurassic Parks of the world and Lord of the Rings. So my opinion, it'd be a step below. But if the consensus is timeless works of cinema.
I've got to give it where it's probably Daniel Craig's best Bond work and one of the best truly written Bond films. I got to give it all the way to the top, man.
And the most beautiful. I mean, that's Roger Deakins, Sam Mendes. It's beautiful.
All right. Okay. Next up is Disney's Frozen.
I've seen this, and I think it's a good film, not great. I've got plenty of family members that are younger that watched it. So, but I don't think it's just nowhere near the upper echelon of top, especially animated movies, even the $1 billion point.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the stuff in the 90s that they were doing, I don't think it's nearly as good, but for some reason, kids love that music.
Yeah. Having almost a 3-year-old daughter, it's on all the freaking time. So I will say it's not bad to rewatch it 500 times, but it wouldn't definitely be like considered a great work. So I agree. Good film, not quite great. Next up, I believe, is the first Harry Potter.
I don't know if
first
I can put it.
One is good, but I don't think it's great.
I think
so. Much better later on.
I would agree. I think that because it progressively got darker over time as well. The first introduction of the characters, my opinion is I think Warner Brothers was like gauging audience here and wanted to keep it a little bit safer. And then I think they started to recognize, okay, this is who's actually coming to see the films. And obviously with the books and progression, it got darker. I think it got better, but I'm in alignment. Good film, not quite great.
Also, though, those kids were like 10 years old in the first one, so
That's
they
true.
couldn't go too dark.
That's true. Well, Stranger Things, though, right? Lord of the Rings. This is, I think, Return of the King? No, this is
That's Fellowship, right? Yeah, that's Fellowship.
It's Fellowship.
That goes to the top for me.
It does. Yeah, I'm willing to give that to Mr. Brentley.
I don't know if I've seen a non-epic Lord of the Rings film, but we can argue that like when we get there. Titanic.
You know, I've never really been a big fan of Titanic. I think it's a good work, but I don't think it was probably one of the best films I've ever seen.
I would say it's great work, not all the way to the top.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, hey, this is our I'm sure most of the film critics and people in it would say Titanic up at the top. Our personal interests, it's second tier.
Hey, the second half of that movie is an amazing action movie, and you just have to sit through the first part to get there.
Yeah.
I just wish Nicolas Cage was in it and be that much better. So next up, Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. I think it's the first one, I believe, because I don't see any of the other. Could be wrong.
Dr. Brenner's trying to.
Or that might be Dead Man's Chest if that's not on there, because Dead Man's Chest.
This is Dead Man's Chest here with.
So then that'll be the first one probably.
This one here, yeah. I liked it.
I think so.
I watched that damn movie like a bunch of times. It was super cool, and I watched the ending. I thought Johnny Depp knocked it out of the park.
You did.
I'm on the fence with timeless or great works of entertainment art on this one. What do you all
I think
the first one is timeless.
Are you sure it's timeless?
Yeah,
because you sure that the whole
they get worse as they go along.
True, but are you sure that people are still keeping it in the mind now that Johnny Depp's public persona has changed? You think it's still in that timeless point?
It's an entertaining movie. I can watch it over and over again.
Well, I mean, he's made that character recognizable, like Luke Skywalker, like Indiana Jones. I mean, Captain Jack Sparrow is now Johnny Depp. Like, good luck recasting that, Disney, and see if anybody tunes up for that one. So what are we saying? First or second?
Mr. Brennan wants to go to first. Goes to first.
I liked it enough. Avengers Ultron.
Oh, that goes down to the. I don't think it's unwatchable, but it's badly constructed.
I'd say it's average.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it and have when I do the Marvel marathon with the wife, we don't skip this one. We skip the Thor, we skip all that. So I'm gonna say average, forgettable blockbuster. Fast and the Furious 7.
Ugh.
Oh.
It's not good.
I think after 5 days, they start becoming badly constructed, man. You know.
Well, and that one, honestly, it was because Paul Walker died.
True.
Why people went to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's badly constructed.
Okay.
What
do you think?
Both of you guys, I would say average, just because even the bad ones of that, the later on ones, are still enjoyable.
Okay, we can. I mean, we can argue. We can argue. We'll put it there. Harry Potter. I don't know which one this is.
Probably Deathly Hallows.
I think so.
So is it Deathly Hallows? Wasn't there one in part 2? One and 2?
Yeah, so that's probably part 2.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was like up there for sure.
Yeah, it is.
If not top, like great works of it.
I think it's great works of entertaining art.
Yeah, I would say the top, but I'm good with either.
Okay.
Transformers.
Oh, that's Revenge of the Fallen, right?
No, this is Age of Extinction.
Oh,
Mm.
worse, even worse, if that's possible.
Yeah, and they got $1 billion out of it, huh? They really transformed that.
As
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg, he had to pay for his check,
yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, this might be.
I think so.
I don't know if I can watch. I mean, if I had to watch a Transformers movie, it ain't going to be.
It's not that one.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
I mean, I'll watch Bumblebee 5 times before this one. Like that should tell you something. Jurassic Park, I think we can all
top.
agree.
Yeah, that goes all the way to top, man.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Ooh. Now, see the difference between, I think Dr. Brentley and I always have this argument. I enjoyed the Hobbit trilogy more than I did the original Lord of the Rings. So I've got a special place. I thought it was more entertaining, and you could kind of understand it more without probably having to prefix of the books. So for me, it goes to it's not quite top, but I believe it's a great work of art.
I think the reason why the trilogy is great is because Smaug. If you remove the dragon, it's not right. I mean, like that's Benedict Cumberbatch's dragon was like made that whole. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say a good film, but not quite great for The Hobbit. But if you all have argument,
I think I can say, all right, I can give it that. You're right. Absolutely, Smug is the absolutely reason why it's my favorite film. It's a dragon that loves gold.
I love gold.
Dr. Brantley.
Yeah, you can put it in that good but not great.
Okay. All right. Dead Man's Chest.
Not as good as the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're putting that one in the top. Do we put that good film?
I said good film, but not quite great.
Okay. Dark Knight Rises. I think there's no argument where this goes, right?
Rises?
Yeah.
I think it's good work. I don't think it's a top tier.
It's here or here, right? Do you think it's anything below?
No, I think it's good work of entertaining art, but I don't think it's timeless over the Dark Knight or even the Batman Begins. To be honest with you,
yeah, I'd say the second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the Dark Knight, I think we go
tier.
up top.
Yeah.
Okay. Transformers, I think. Rise of the Fallen, I think is this one.
That's almost. I think the Transformers are going to have their own category right here. I think it's absolutely unwatchable.
Well, what was the first one? Because that was probably the best.
Just a standard Transformers film. Transformers the movie.
It's not even on the $1 billion one.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think it was before it made.
So are we saying badly constructed, or are we saying?
I'm saying absolutely unwatchable. After the first film, most of those films are pretty much unwatchable for me.
Yeah, I think we might just have our entire tier be Transformers films down there.
Exactly.
Well, there is Captain Marvel, so hold your horses. You've got Fate of the Furious still left to come, so we got a few. Avengers, the first one.
That goes top tier.
Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
You know what? It's not anywhere. It's not a badly constructed movie. I think it's an average movie, but with the Star Wars lore, I remember that got everybody reignited back into going to Star Wars. That movie theater was packed for that film. So I think it's an average film. It's but I don't think it's. I hate when it says forgettably it's blockbuster, but it's an average film. But it was not going to ever be forgotten about. So. Yeah, I think that's the perfect category for it, man.
I'd say good, but not great, just because the ending of it is so good.
It does have a great lightsaber battle. Probably one of the best of all time. So yeah, let's go.
We are torn. We are torn here though, because I think it's badly constructed.
Really?
Well, I guess it goes right in the middle.
I can't argue.
And the reason why is because I think, out of all the Star Wars films, it had the worst acting.
I heard Yoda talking about midichlorians. I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
Like, it was really bad. And I think partly because maybe green screen was something that it just felt like I thought Hayden Christensen got better, but this was
No,
like not Hayden Christensen, but the kid's name, whatever the kid,
yeah,
like Jake. Like,
yeah. I think he
it
would.
was
I
bad.
think all
Darth
versions.
Maul was cool, appearance of Darth Maul and like all that's pod racing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so do we leave it in the middle? Because you
I
were
say
here.
just. I say let's leave it in the middle, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oof.
You know what?
Badly constructed.
It is badly constructed, but
It's
give a shout out to the great Jimmy Buffett, who had one of the best scenes in that film, and he just passed away and everything. So just for that one alone, I like to put it in the forgettable blockbusters. Only because my man from Margaritaville was saving 2 margaritas in that movie, so has a special place in my heart just for that, man.
It's dinosaurs, and I can't watch it again.
I could watch it, man. I could watch
It's
it.
badly constructed. I mean,
It is.
come on.
It is.
I mean,
Well,
it is.
and
the motorcycles with the raptors and the, like pets, and it's just like
and then the other ones get worse than that.
They do. They do. It's like the better of the bad ones, but not as bad as Jurassic Park 3. So it's it's kind of like somewhere in there. So that's
Dr.
why I
Brantley. I'm saying badly constructed. Mr. Storm saying average.
Oh, I say
It's your
badly
decision.
constructed.
okay.
Yeah,
Then leaving it
okay.
badly
But
constructed.
it's definitely not Transformer level.
No.
No. I mean,
No.
okay. Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 actually I thought was actually a better film than 2 and wasn't equally as 1. I would have to put that in. It's not average. What's the tiers? Let's go down low. I think it's a good film, not quite great.
I could go along with that.
Yeah, me too. Avatar.
Now, see, this is where we're going to get into a little bit of trouble here because this is where the comment box is going to really be heated up because I have never liked any of the Avatar movies.
I can't stand it.
Okay, well, we're in agreement then. Maybe
so-
it's on. Is it
I mean,
on
if we're talking
Transformer
about,
level though? I'd say badly constructed.
I do think it's a poor film, and I don't understand the lore. Maybe I'm just out of the loop on that.
We're gonna take a lot of fucking heat for this.
I know we're
Just
gonna.
wanna let you
I know
know.
we're gonna. I'm willing to take it. Man.
Look, I kudos to creating a whole universe
of
of
course.
characters and the CGI and the beautiful scenes, backdrop and scene, all that shit. But I've never watched it again. I couldn't take it. So, but are we saying it's just average? Or are we really saying it was badly constructed?
I don't like any bit of the story. I don't like any of the characters. I sat in the theater with it, and it was truly one of the first times I sat in the theater and I wanted to walk out of a film. I didn't understand the actual appeal, so maybe it's just us, but I gotta say, I thought it was a badly constructed movie.
I can't believe Avatar is in the badly constructed movies, but welcome to the club next to Jurassic Park and Chris whatever the hell's Pratt with his Raptor friends. Toy Story 3.
Oh
again,
man,
Yeah,
that is so good.
It's
was
timeless.
crying.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
It's the
was getting
best of the
choked
Toy
up
Stories.
over these stupid toys.
Yeah. No, it's the best of the Toy Stories.
It
by
is.
far. I don't think anybody can argue.
They deserve every bit of that $1 billion, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. Minions.
One of the funniest films I have ever sat in the theater with. I don't think it goes to timeless. I think the Minions themselves are timeless. But I think it's a great works of entertaining art. I think it's up there, man.
I'd say good films, in my opinion. Like it's up there with Frozen, like good story,
Yeah.
good characters.
I'm willing to give it
I'd
to
put
you.
it on good.
Yeah. Okay. I want you all to think about this film
Mhm.
as if the other two did not come.
Okay.
Okay, because this is the Force Awakens. If you're
It
just judging this film, my opinion,
Mhm.
I thought it's close to timeless and not great works of entertainment. If you remove the other two, because I know that that's just I thought it was really great. I thought it was a really great kickstart to what should have been a really great final three. But I want to get your take because maybe it's different. But I love Chewbacca, Harrison. I like BB-8. I love the intro to Kylo Ren. It was good. It was funny, and then it went all downhill from there. But your thoughts?
This is one where again the comment box is going to really hit up because I didn't like any of the final trilogy movies. The Force Awakens, I thought it was just riding off the Star Wars coattail. And I've only had to watch it once, and I've never wanted to watch it again.
I thought it was entertaining. Like, there's stuff in the first two movies of this trilogy that I really like. First two. But this one, I'd say is like average, forgettable to good. But I wouldn't put it higher than that.
So I'm at great. You're at average good. Mr. Storm, where are you at?
You know what? I could put it at average as well, man. I thought they weren't entertaining for Star Wars, man.
Okay.
You know?
Brutal.
All right, next episode 1, where it belongs.
Finding Dory.
I never saw that one, actually.
You never saw the sequel?
I saw Nemo. I didn't see Dory.
I would say like good to average.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would say because Nemo, in my opinion, was better. Maybe.
Oh yeah, it was a better film, but it wasn't a bad sequel to it either, though. So yeah, I think it's good. But it's not quite great.
Yeah. Zootopia, I've seen this as well. Like
I've seen it too hundreds of times due to the young people in our house.
It's good.
It's a good film. It's a good film. Yeah,
I would say
piece
good
of animation.
Good.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast live action.
Yeah, that made $1 billion, huh?
Yeah. And there's like absolutely no reason for it because it's the exact same telling, but not as good. And they added a little bit of a backstory. That's her sad dead mother.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with average. I didn't even think it made $1 billion, man.
Yeah, I would say average too.
No, that was when Disney was doing everything right.
Well, we know there'll be no Disney sponsorship of us now.
Rogue One, in my opinion, is the second greatest Star Wars film ever made behind Empire Strikes Back. But I'm not gonna argue with you on that one, man. I think it was the most entertaining of any of the modern Star Wars films.
Definitely.
Best Darth Vader scene of all time. Yes.
Oh yeah, Darth Vader. Jeez. When I saw that, I was like, someone captured the essence of how badass he was.
I saw a guy in the theater literally get up, walk around his seat, and dance and jump back in the seat. It was like amazing to see that.
A few more films left here, but how are we feeling thus far with the ranking? We're feeling pretty good heading into the final stretch.
I think we're doing pretty good, other than the fans are going to crucify us for Avatar. But yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's jump right into the Fate of the Furious.
I think
that may be the worst. Now, let me just say though, it's one of the entertaining ones because 1 and 2 are on the unwatchable list.
Yeah.
But 8, even though it's completely ridiculous, it's still fun.
Is that the one where the car crashes into the building in Dubai? Is that the one?
No, I believe that this is the one where The Rock.
The tank.
He's got a tank on the ice. After a nuclear sub, and he changes the direction of the missile.
Oh my god!
They started off as street racers in California.
Yeah. And then Diesel's fixing his Supra, and now he's like,
he's saving the world.
He's an action hero. So what are we doing? Average or badly constructed?
I would say, well, let's put it like this. I'll say average compared to, because I know we got two. If there's two more on this list, I'm willing to go average for this one.
All right. Right next to its right next to its brother. There you go. Civil War.
Mm. Very good introduction of Spider-Man, introduction of the Black Panther. I don't know if it's in the top tier, but I think it's in the great works of entertaining art.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Black Panther.
That's probably one of the greatest cultural films of all time for Marvel. They did a great crossover job with that one, man.
Timeless.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Okay. Jurassic
Some
World.
dodgy special effects towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Like the franchise. I think that's a badly constructed film. I think there's great moments in it, but it's badly constructed.
Yeah, it's still not unwatchable.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think dinosaurs are more watchable, even if it's really bad.
Exactly.
Although if Jurassic Park 3 was on this,
No, let me tell you something.
it might be absolutely unwatchable.
Jurassic Park 3 makes it only because when Dr. Grant's on the plane and he's sleeping and the dinosaur talks to him.
Alan.
It's like right there, you're like, okay, you can't go worse than this. But they did.
Well, at least you can tell, there's dinosaurs. On some of these Transformers movies, there's just a bunch of stuff going like this all the time. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah, this is my impression of a Transformers movie. Like it's just repetitive. But the CGI is not that bad in these Transformer movies.
No, they're spending great money on that. They do
spend a shitload of money on it, so it looks like they're making it back in the billion-dollar movies. Okay. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Some cool scenes in this one for sure.
There are some cool scenes.
But in my opinion, if we have collectively said that it's average forgettable blockbusters, I don't see how this could be higher than the first of the new. Would we say it's in the average forgettable?
I think it's average. And it's forgettable.
Jeez, isn't that brutal to think about Star Wars? Like Star Wars in this category, like it's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. Despicable Me 3, I did not see this. So if you two saw it.
I did see it, and I think that's an average film, actually. For the Despicable ones, because 1 and 2 were fantastic. This one's just average. I think it's average.
I'd put it 1 higher, maybe, but I can.
Well, you can go ahead, brother. If you felt like go up 1 up.
Well, I mean, you gotta agree because I don't have an opinion here.
Average.
Average.
Okay.
Average.
Infinity War, timeless. Are we
timeless.
Saying? Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be considered to be the last timeless film that Marvel's going to have if they don't start changing their stuff over there.
Mm-hmm. Aquaman.
It's a good film. It has its flaws, but I think it's a good film. It's not great, but it's a good film.
I think to me it's average.
What do you think, Dr. Ben?
I'd say it's above average.
So, Mr. Storm, are you saying good or
I think it's a good film.
Okay.
It's not great.
All right. Endgame, right? No arguments. That goes up at the top. Aladdin live action, never saw it.
Oof.
Well, I'll be honest with you. This is one of the few that I think Transformers is going to get some company. I think it's absolutely unwatchable.
Well, I mean, if you're comparing it to Robin Williams, yes, it's absolutely unwatchable.
Yes.
I didn't like it. Yeah, you could put it unwatchable.
Okay. Captain Marvel.
Oh, Will Smith's got some company.
I would say I'm on the fence between badly constructed.
It is.
Yeah.
It kind of because there's like one moment where it's all right, and there's so many bad things that happened in that movie that it was it's a shame. And I think the only good thing that happened was they just gave us a snippet of what a blockbuster used to look like.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Incredibles 2, say like either good or I would say good film. It's good. It was
It's
good.
good. It's
Right?
good.
The first one was better, in my opinion.
Yes.
But
Yes.
are we saying good or do we want to put it great work?
I
Well,
don't
if you
think
two
it's
are
a
good, then
Yeah, I don't. I think it's a good film. It's not quite great.
Okay. All right. Lion King.
Oh, Lion King was pretty good actually. Yeah.
If you think about it, is this is this the live action or this is the
Yeah,
live
no,
action?
that's a live action, man.
Uh
It's a good film. I don't think it's a great piece of work. I think it's a really good film, only because it's a remake of an actual
yeah.
great piece of work.
I'd
I'm
say
gonna say average.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go average. Yeah, I won't argue with that, man.
it was impressive looking, but again, it didn't
Yeah.
really do much, and it definitely was not better than the original.
No.
No.
Toy Story 4, I'm gonna put great work. I think it was
Yes.
just below 3.
hmm
Thoughts?
No, I think you're
I'm fine
absolutely
with that.
right on that one.
Joker.
Hmm. Here's the thing. That it's not a top tier, but in no way, shape, or form is it average. I think it's probably where it says entertaining art. I think that movie actually defines it. I think that's an art film all the way through. So I would say basically, great work of entertaining art.
I'm gonna say good.
I would
Because-
say great. What didn't you like about it?
I think it gets overrated because how well of a job he did. I felt like it was like designed to win a best actor award and not necessarily a movie that had a great ensemble. Like I felt like that and it felt a little too artsy for what my opinion a Joker movie should be. It was good, but I don't know if I would call it great. Like it was a good vehicle for him to win the Oscar, which he did. But
I was
like I look at Heath Ledger, like if I'm comparing, right? And I know it's unfair to compare, but I'm like, I feel like you take that, like pull Heath Ledger's Joker and make it its own standalone. I think to me that'd be like at the upper tier. I think it was good, but to me, I'm not watching Joker over and over again if it's on TV. That's how I gauge these categories, in my opinion.
I think you're right. I think it's definitely an art house kind of film. But I think that Joaquin Phoenix's performance is absolutely amazing.
He killed it. There's no
movie.
question.
So yeah, if it's due
Look,
to
if you're all saying great works, I'm the only one that's saying good.
Let's put it like this. I'll say it's a good work of entertaining art, but it's not an average film.
I'll probably take shit for that on the comments, but all good.
We will. There's gonna be a lot of-
Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Oh man, it deserved every bit of that money, man.
Would you say great work or would you say timeless? I would say great work, right?
I think it's great work. I think the last one was definitely timeless, but I think that's great work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh, that's top.
That goes to top. I am not a actual Top Gun fan. I had never watched Top Gun up until I think I had to be forced where Dr. Brentley told me like, hey, Maverick's great and everything. I was like, I don't get this. Even in the 80s, I didn't get it. And I actually watched Maverick and I thought it was way better than the original. So I think it goes to timeless, man.
I'm in between, but since you both say timeless, I say it benefited from, post COVID. People were, I think that's part of it. It was such a long time since we saw the characters. So I think part of it, we were excited about that, but it was a really good film. And I agree. I think Top Gun excels in the cheesiness factor of the 80s, but in terms of overall film,
yes,
this one was way better, like really good. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Frozen 2.
Haven't seen that one. I didn't.
We've got Frozen in good films. I would say it's probably in the same.
I think it's in the same category. Yeah. I think they hit the bar the same.
Yeah. Oh boy. This one's a tough one for me, but
They all were watching.
I think it deserves right next to Mr. Will Smith and the robots, but I love to get your thoughts because
I am
part of me is because I'm not just gauging the film, but it just wrecked the entire. I mean, it was like ass backwards. Like if you think about like episode 1, 2, and 3, the third one like somewhat salvaged, in my opinion. This one like took everything good from what people remembered of the last 3 and just. This is how you left the taste in their mouths. So
I think so.
And I can't watch it again. I would never watch it again.
And yeah, I mean, even in some of these other movies that aren't so great, there's at least an action scene or something that's good. And there was nothing that I liked in that movie. Oh.
In fact, that movie made me appreciate Jar Jar Binks way more.
So are we dare saying absolute unwatchable pieces of garbage?
It goes right next to Will Smith, man.
Okay. Jurassic Park. This was
Dominion.
Dominion. I think it's right with badly. Yeah. It's like, you know.
I think it's consistent. All 3 films are all in the same category, all with the same director.
Way of the Water, Avatar.
Again,
it was better than the first one.
It was, but
okay. So we put the first one
not good.
Ooh, badly constructed. So are we saying average?
I would say average.
I would say average as well.
Goodness. Wow,
again, fans are going to be blowing us up. They're going to be pissed on this one, man.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
It's timeless. I think it's timeless, man.
Yeah. I go all the way to the top with that. See, that's when they did, they're starting with the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
They did it right.
Exactly.
And it wasn't too confusing, even though it could have been very confusing. And I think The Flash learned all the wrong lessons from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mario Brothers. I'm gonna say average, like good, like, but I'll forget about it, and no one's gonna remember it in 10 years' time. It's like my thoughts, but
I think it's a good film, not quite great. I don't think it's totally average, but I think it's a good film.
Yeah, I'd go good.
Okay, all right.
It was very enjoyable.
And lastly, I haven't seen Barbie, but
I have.
Crushing the box office.
Yeah, it's doing extremely well. It's one of those that I didn't think it was a bad film. I think there's great moments in it. I think there's I was a little bit more unexpected than what I thought it was going to be, but it's like a middle of the road kind of good. What do you think, Dr. Merlin?
Yeah, it is between like great and good. Because there are some fantastic things in there.
Exactly.
And it is very entertaining, very funny, unexpected. But then there's some stuff where it's like, okay, we get it. Probably they should have cut about 15 minutes out or something, tighten it up a little. But
I think where it's at, it's where it deserves to be.
Good film, not quite quick. Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, we have depleted the list. Now we're going to go category by category to make sure we haven't made any mistakes.
Okay.
Timeless works of cinema, Skyfall.
Absolutely.
Lord of the Rings.
Captain Jack Sparrow throwing.
Wait, is this Return of the King? This is Return of the King, right? Yes.
I think it is, yes.
It is.
It's still timeless.
Yeah, I think all 3 are, but
yes.
I just want to make sure you all are in alignment that this is Return of the King.
Yeah. The one thing that surprised me about the list is there are so few $1 billion makers in there, and I think that goes to tell that even some of the ones that we've kind of said that were poor films, there was an actual point where honest people were going back and forth considerably to see that. So sometimes we get that stuff right. Sometimes the critics get that stuff right. And a lot of times they get it wrong. People just enjoy stuff for their own individual reasons,
Yeah. What about great works of entertainment art? Any of these that you all feel? So just to recap, timeless works of cinema, for those of you who are not watching on YouTube and listening, it's got Skyfall, Return of the King, Pirates of the Caribbean, The first one, Jurassic Park. The first one, The Dark Knight. The Avengers. Toy Story 3, Rogue One, Black Panther, Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Top Gun Maverick, and Spider-Man No Way Home. For great works of entertaining art, we have Titanic, Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2, The Dark Knight Rises, Captain America Civil War, Toy Story 4, Joker, and Spider-Man Far From Home. Any thoughts on this secondary great works of entertainment art? Any mistakes? You feel confident about that?
I'd be happy watching any of those movies on a Sunday afternoon.
Okay. Good films, but not quite great. We got Frozen, Harry Potter, the first one, The Hobbit, the first, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, Minions, Iron Man 3, Finding Dory, Zootopia, Incredibles 2, Frozen 2, Aquaman, Super Mario Brothers, and Barbie. Any of those?
I actually might move Frozen, both of them, down to average.
Ooh.
Just with the other stuff that's there with it. Because like Harry Potter, Hobbit, Dead Man's Chest, Minions, it's like Frozen doesn't belong with those.
I'm gonna agree with you. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you too here. I think Finding Dory's probably joins them in average for like. I don't know.
You know what? I don't know if you can keep it's good films, not quite great. I think maybe we can actually throw Dory down a notch to average.
Okay. And then for average forgettable blockbusters, you got Alice in Wonderland, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Avatar, we're going to take a lot of shit for. Fate of the Furious, Furious 7, Episode 1, The Force Awakens, Star Wars, Beauty and the Beast live action, Star Wars Last Jedi, Despicable Me 3, Frozen, Frozen 2, The Lion King live action, and Finding Dory.
You notice that the one trait in that there's a lot of Disney films that have actually been put into the average category. And it's, people are thinking that it's just right now the films are starting. I think that trend started about a good 6 or 7 years ago for them.
Yeah. Badly constructed. We've got basically all the Jurassic Parks except for the first. We've got Avatar. Oof, Way of the Water, man. We're really gonna get blown up on YouTube, and Captain Marvel. And then absolutely unwatchable pieces of Cine garbage is the 2 Transformers movies, the live action Aladdin, and Star Wars. What was it called?
Rise of Skywalker.
Brutal.
Oh, fall of a franchise.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So this is the list. Are you all in alignment with the list?
Oh, I think it's great. Actually, the thing that I also find interesting is that we've all watched it. So that have not yet watched or haven't seen at the bottom, like, $1 billion, it goes to show that all of our money was put into those $1 billion franchises because we've all seen all those films. Yeah. And that's kind of amazing, man.
If we did a tiered of the best trilogies of all time, you'd have to maybe put Nolan's Batman as a top contender. I mean, I know Batman Begins isn't on the $1 billion list, but considering The Dark Knights and Timeless and The Dark Knight Rises, great works of entertainment art, I mean, that were probably one of those. So maybe when we decide to rank the top trilogies of all time, that would probably have to be a contender.
Well, we should probably, ask the fans and comment below that if they want to see us rank all the best trilogies. And maybe one Sunday night where we're not doing anything, we can start ranking those.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this list. Disney. So many of them are Disney movies. All the Marvel, the Star Wars, the Pixar, the, just regular animated stuff. I mean, I don't know where they put all that money, but they should have a ton saved away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You got a few Universals scattered in there with the Transformers, the Jurassic Parks, and the Fast and the Furiouses.
But, it's barely any Warner Brothers films. There's a couple of them, but not a majority
outside
of
what? Batman, right? And Harry Potter?
Batman, Harry Potter, Barbie, and Aquaman. But they don't.
Paramount is worse. I think they've only got Maverick and Titanic.
Sure.
Yeah. That is true.
There's a reason why Disney's number one.
Wait, the worst probably would be Skyfall, right? Because that's MGM.
Yeah, true.
I think they only got one,
I
right?
think so.
Is there any other MGM?
I don't believe so. No. And MGM, so Paramount actually has a little bit slighter kick over MGM. So,
Oh, and Paramount is the Transformers.
Yes.
They make
it is.
trash, but they make money.
Yeah. That's true.
No Paramount endorsements for us.
I think isn't that the studio? Like, that's the headline. We make trash, but we make money. Paramount Pictures.
It's like it's a mountain of trash, and then it's like the Paramount logo. Yeah, I can see.
And then it
now
fades to a
working.
mountain of cash.
Oh boy. Well, anything shocking here before
No.
we wrap it up? Anything that I think for me the most depressing is seeing a Star Wars film at the absolutely unwatchable piece of cine garbage. To me, that is the most depressing of them all.
And then you see where the first Jurassic Park started, and then all the other ones are down in badly constructed, at least, It's like the first one was one of the classics.
But you've got to ask yourself, they've done now 2 sets of trilogies for the Jurassic Park films. Do you think they have another trilogy in them? And if they do, what are they going to do differently than they haven't done from the beginning? Because I don't think you can ever set them back in a park setting anymore. It just wouldn't make any sense if the 2 felt, I guess, decades of them doing the park stuff. Is there another trilogy left in that franchise?
I think the only way to do it is you go full Planet of the Apes and you land on an island where the dinosaurs are talking.
Alan.
I mean, at this point, that's the next chapter, isn't it?
It's strange. I don't know how they're going to do it, man. I don't know if there's any coming back from the way they've done it right now.
Well, they need to be able to make them for cheaper, because now they're costing too much and not making enough. Where before they were costing that same amount, but they were making a ton. Obviously, they're making $1 billion, but can they keep doing that? I don't know, because they've got a bunch of bad will because people got tricked into seeing 3 bad movies.
Well, the curious thing about our $1 billion ranking list is that one of our members is not here. So, I'm kind of interested to see what Chet's absolute opinion is on what we picked.
Yeah, I would definitely see if he's an Avatar fan or if he isn't.
He's a Transformers fan, so he might not like where we put those.
That's true. That's true. What do you all feel about Transformers versus Jurassic Park versus Fast and the Furious? If you had to watch a series of films, you were forced to remote island for the next several months, would they be all the Transformers, all the Jurassic Parks, or all the Fast and Furiouses?
I think, unfortunately, I could go with probably all the Fast and Furious movies.
That's what you have reduced me to as well.
Yeah.
It's like there's a couple of entertaining ones there.
Yeah, there's like, at least from maybe since Tokyo Drift to maybe 5, those are entertaining. But then the other ones are kind of not so bad compared to the Jurassic Parks, where you're like, look, if you've seen the one, maybe you watch half of Lost World and then that's about it. Stop watching it. And then we get to Transformers. I think once you get past that first film, if you're a fan of the animated cartoons or the comics or anything, you just got slightly disappointed film after film after film. So I would take Vin Diesel, The Rock, even Tyrese.
There's always room for family.
Over dinosaurs.
Who is the coolest character of all the 3? And you can include the first Jurassic Park. You can include all the Fast and the Furious movies. And you could also include, obviously, Well, it'd be the Wahlbergs and whatever, but theoretically it would be probably Optimus Prime or, Starscream or one of the Transformers. But is there a cool character that came from the franchise, and who would you choose?
I would say, yeah, Hobbs.
Yeah.
His introduction in 5 changed the complexity of the entire series. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any better after that film, but it elevated all of the other movies. So, I think the Rock in 5 is definitely the transcending, and also he became a superstar after that film. So, I think it did its job. Like, really, if you look at the other films, like Transformers, I don't think it's made one superstar. I think it destroys superstar careers. Shia LaBeouf's person after Transformers, that kind of did it. And I don't think that the Jurassic Parks made any superstars, because do we consider Chris Pratt being made a superstar due to Guardians of the Galaxy or due to the Jurassic Park films?
Yeah, it was before Jurassic.
Yeah. And I know like Jeff Goldblum was a star before that, but wasn't he? I'd put him in that top tier of like cool characters. I know.
You know what?
He was in the second one. I know the second one was terrible, but I mean, Dr. Ian Malcolm was a pretty cool character. Like but then again, that whole one, the cast of characters were really good.
I would give Jeff his credit. Is that, watching what the world according to Jeff Goldblum on Disney, he's just an interesting character all to his own. So I don't know if it was more of the character on screen or just his natural personality that synced in. So, he's a very interesting actor, I will say.
Yeah. Well, we did it.
We did it! We did it!
Please subscribe, like, comment. If you have any tier ranking you'd love us to explore, drop a note in the channel. We're excited to grow the channel. If you have any thoughts, opinions, spread the word, spread the love. Just a bunch of guys hanging out and talking about the stuff we love to talk about. So thanks for tuning in and listening, and we're excited to see you next week. Continue to follow the channel. We post videos and shorts and other things, including the Shadow Knows videos. So if you're into the action figure toy world, some inside secrets and scoops about what's upcoming. So again, thanks all. And for Mr. Storm, Dr. Brantley, I am Mr. Calkins, and we'll see you next time. Adios.